Okay, so for today, I'm going to demonstrate a lot of exercises on the floor, but then I will also, you can do all of these in a chair as well. So I'll go back and forth and kind of give you descriptions for what it would look like in the chair versus on the floor. But considering I broke my chair last class, I'm going to be on the ground for most of this. So let's get started. Sit up nice and tall. If you are sitting in a chair or even on the ground, wherever you're at, make sure that your legs are hip distance apart or slightly wider. Okay, so hip distance apart is typically 2 fists go in between your knees, and that's where you should be. Okay, that way we are in nice alignment in through our hips. And then sit up nice and tall. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. I'm not going to slouch through here, which is our typical posture, sitting in a chair or on the ground. But instead, you're going to lift from your pelvis. So you can kind of see how my hips rotate a little. Back this up a little bit more. So my hips here just kind of sit up nice and tall. Look straight ahead and inch your spine a little bit taller. Let your shoulders drop down away from your ears. Every inhale, grow a little taller through your spine. Exhale, don't let yourself collapse. Keep that length you just got. Just drop those shoulders, recheck where those are at. Take a few more breaths here. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Really focusing in on that exhale. Really important. Our lungs are really long, but most of the time when we're breathing, it's all shallow up top. So when you focus in on your exhale, then you're able to clear your whole lung and use all of it, which gets us into that nice deeper breath, slow as you can go. Breathe in and exhale. Good. Give yourselves a few little shimmies back and forth. Back and forth. Give yourself. Now we're going to go ahead and do a few cat-cows. So if you're sitting on the ground and pulling yourself through, you can use your legs as an anchor point, leverage to give yourself a little bit more. Kurt, welcome. Arch your backs and exhale. Good. Find that nice tall posture again. Awesome. So we're going to go into your hips and warm up our pelvis and hips a little bit more. So what we were doing was we were just tucking our hips and going back and forth in between a posterior tilt, anterior tilt. Okay, so that's where you're arching your back, just to get a little bit more movement in through there, because we're going to do a lot of work in through our hips today. So making sure that those are all warmed up. So sit up nice and tall and kind of find your edges, because then we're going to find middle. So we're going to go front to back, and then you're going to go side to side, just a few more times. Really warming them up. And then find that middle ground and find that long spine again. Your abs are going to engage, but they're not going to be so tight that you can't breathe. You just want them tight enough so that they support your low back. Okay, so you can do this when you're sitting up. Also, if you are on the ground, you can go ahead and take a seat, and you're going to do pelvic tilts here. So you're going to tilt. Your back is going to flatten along the ground. You're smushing a blueberry, back flat, hips just tilt. and do a few of those. Same thing if you're up in the chair. Doing a few more, getting that back nice and flat. All right. When able, next round, you're going to tilt, and then you're going to lift up just a little bit. So now you can see that my hips are coming up off the ground, and then back down. So it's a tilt, and then keep rolling up a little bit higher now. Awesome. If you are sitting up in the chair, you can keep your hands. I'm going to use my yoga blocks as armrests. So I keep my hands here. I would tilt and then just try to lift your bottom up off of the chair just a little bit if you can, and you can balance. Keep going with those pelvic tilts and lifts if you are either direction. So if you're on the ground, couple more. Try to get up a little bit higher this time. So pelvic tilt, and then lift and hold to where you can go. So you can stop here. You can lift all the way up into more of a bridge. You can put your hands, if you're on the ground, put your hands underneath your hips to help support you. Hold, and then slowly roll back down. Do that one more time. In the chair, you would engage, and you're not going to push up off the chair with your arms. You're just going to tilt and try to lift your bottom up off the ground, pushing through your feet and your hips. All right? Awesome. So now that you've got your back nice and warmed up, engaged, do a few, get those abs fired up a little bit more. So on the ground, hands are on your thighs. We're going to do a few crunches here, just where your hands are sliding up to just past your knees and back down. Up and down. Keep that going if you're on the mat. If you are in the chair, your crunch is going to look like this. Imagine I have a backrest. You're just going to lean forward, come up off the backrest, and then come back forward. Engage those abs and come up. Wherever you're at, get in 3 more. All right? Awesome. All right. So, bands. If you have a band, go ahead and snag that. Keep it in easy reach. You don't have to do these exercises with bands. You can just do all these exercises with your body weight, and you can give yourself some self-resistance by squeezing on your legs and such, and you'll see as we go. I have some looped bands, some circles, but if you just have, if you have just a flat band and you want to tie it, great, but if you don't want to, that's fine too. I'll show you how to hold them as we go throughout the exercises. So to start, in your chair or on the mat, you're going to put the band around your legs, and we're going to do some just seated. If you're laying down, I'll give you that one first. If you're laying down, bands here, pelvic tilt, and we're just going to squeeze your legs out and then back together. Feet are flat. So kind of like a modified clamshell here. We'll do these in sideline as well. Okay, if you're sitting in a chair, same thing. You're sitting up in the chair. Band is just above your knees, and you can just hold it there and do as much resistance as you want. Remember, your legs are hip distance apart, so a fist to 2 fist distance. Squeeze your legs out, knees out, and then squeeze them back together. So you'll pull that resistance. You'll start to feel this in your hips. So wherever you are at, get in 5 more. Remember, keep that core engaged, trunk is long. 3, 4. Awesome. Nice. So next one, same position that you're in right now, but we're gonna do one at a time legs. So we're gonna start on the right side, and we're actually gonna do kind of half circles. So it's gonna step out wide and then step back together. So step wide, step together. So band is above your knees, start on one leg, and you're gonna actually lift your leg up, move it out to the side, squeeze it back together. So like you're drawing a rainbow with your toe on the ground. If you are laying on the mat, same thing. You're gonna keep that core engaged, back is flat to the mat, lift up, step out wide, and come back together. And wide doesn't have to be a huge as far as you can stretch. It's just to get that little bit of arc. Nice. So do 10 on one side, and then we're gonna switch and do 10 on the other. So you should probably be about halfway done with one side. And then we'll switch and switch sides, out and in, one leg at a time. If you want to do these in standing, I'll show you the standing as well. The band is underneath my feet and I'm holding on. I'm kind of in a half squat, and I'm just gonna step out wide and then step back together without shaking my core a bunch. It's just out, out, in, and then you switch directions, out, out, in. So for anyone there who is standing with these bands, that is an option for you as well. Get in 3 more here. Nice. I like seeing the control. Don't forget to keep breathing. Awesome. All right. Next exercise. So if you are on the mat or on the ground, go ahead and get into side lines. So you'll be on either side. I prop my head with my hands, but you can rest your head on your bicep on the ground, and make sure that your hip and shoulder are in alignment. Your core is engaged so that you're not collapsing through your low back. All right. You're going to extend the top leg out, toes come back toward your face, and you're just going to lift up and down, really squeezing that outer hip, nice and slow, up and down. If you are in the chair, so on the mat, keep it going. Anyone in the chair? You're going to sit up nice and tall. You're going to hover one leg above the ground, let it hover, squeeze your leg out, and come back in. Toes pull back towards your face, out and in. If you need a little extra assistance to keep your toes back towards your face, grab that band or a strap, put it around the forefront, around your toes, around the ball of your foot, and use that to go out and in, just to give you a little bit of help to keep those toes back. Get in 3 more here, then we're going to switch sides. Great. And then switch sides for 10. All right. Nice. Up. Really feel that squeeze in your hip. Leg as straight as you can, toes back towards your face. These are great just body work weight exercises. Last 2 and 1. Nice. Excuse me. All right. So we're going to go through those 3 exercises again. So we're going to do the pelvic tilt and lifting as high as you can into a bridge. For those of you who this is easy, when we do this, I'll give you the next level. We're going to do those. We're going to do the knee out clamshells. You can do these in sitting on your back, or if you want, you can do them in side lying. So clamshells, working that rotation of the hip. We'll do the wide steps with your leg out to the side, one at a time. And then we'll do the leg lifts in side lying or sitting. Okay? So we're going to do 10 of each, and we're going to go straight through those exercises. All right? So here we go. So if you are sitting for these bridges, remember, you're just going to lift and just kind of push up and try to lift your bottom up off of the mat, or off your chair, keeping your spine in neutral. If you're doing the bridge and this is easy for you, you can start to play with kind of walking one leg out, or maybe coming up on your toes while you hold these bridges. So get in 10 here at your own pace. Awesome. Come up on your toes if you want. If that is all too easy, then you can start to work on extending one leg while keeping your hips extended. Awesome. Probably 3 more, I'm guessing. Grab that band, put it above your knees, and then the clamshell exercise wherever you're at. So this one is legs go out and then squeeze them back together. Fight the resistance of that band. Don't let the band snap your legs back together. Control it in both directions. So you can do this again if you are sitting in a chair. Still go out and in. Give yourself some space between your knees to start. And you can do these in side lying. Awesome. Thanks, Carla. Have a good day. We'll see you next time. Couple more here. If you're doing sideline, make sure that you switch directions. And you should probably have a couple more in you. 3, 2, 1. Next are your rainbow exercises. So the band can stay above your knee, and you're gonna do little rainbow circles, toe taps with your leg. If you can, try to lift that leg up off the ground and back. Again, if you are in standing, keep it going for those who are sitting and sideline. If you're in standing and you want to do this, you can do circles here. I'm going to balance, stabilizing on my, well, right now it's my left leg, out and in circles with my opposite side to give myself a little bit of balance work. Core, and then I'm working that hip on that opposite side. Nice. If you haven't already, switch sides. Nice. Couple more here. And then we're gonna do the leg lifts. So straight legs, toes pull back to your face. Hover one leg if you're sitting and hold it there, pull those toes back. You can leave that band around your legs for a little extra resistance if you want. Toes back, hover that leg, out and in. Sideline, you're going, your sideline and you're going up and down. Pull those toes back towards your face. Leg as straight as you can make it without locking out that knee. That's fast. 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. Wherever you are at, recheck that core and that posture and lift for 10. Squeezing at that hip. Are you slouching through your low back? Have you caved in? Are you still sitting up nice and tall? Keep going. Awesome. Last one. Nice work. Take, excuse me, take your band or your strap, put it underneath. If you're done, I can only see a few of you. Keep it going if you still have more reps. I can't keep count, so sometimes when I'm talking, I lose count. So just want to get through a couple stretches here for you. So if you are not quite done yet, keep going on your reps. I'm going to grab my band. You can grab a strap of whatever sort. Put it around the ball of your foot. Pull those toes back. Okay? If you are seated or on the ground, wherever you're at, then you can hinge forward and start to get a better hamstring stretch. You should feel this in the back of your leg. Can also just lift that leg up in the air to get yourself that stretch. Making sure that you're pulling those toes back. The great thing about stretching with a strap is you can play with the angle of your foot with very little effort by your hands. You can see my foot's wiggling around all over. So what I like to do is I like to point my toes down and then bring it across my body to feel the stretch more along the outside of my leg. Then I'll point my pinky toe down to the ground and go out to like right leg, right arm, out to the side of my body to feel the stretch more on the inside of my leg. You can do these in sitting. You can also lay down with them, all right? And out to the side and across. Really get that full stretch, whatever you can do. If you can't do it with the band, you can just do your knee up and out to the side. and move it around and stretch out. But great work today. I think that is, we are right at 11 o'clock. If you have any questions, put them in the box or unmute yourself and ask, and reach out at any time. Otherwise, everyone have a wonderful weekend. Stay healthy.
Thank you. I'm out of breath. That was really good.
Nice work.